First of all, I'd like to welcome you. My name is Franziska Becker. I'm Program Manager at Platformation, and it's a real pleasure to be your host for this event. The last years, I've had the opportunity to lead and accompany ServiceNow developments, deployments, and upgrades for various clients. And today, I'm very excited to guide you through this important occasion in which we can hear some of our experts sharing their insights with us about the most recent ServiceNow upgrade. Our agenda includes expert insights and use cases, an engaging panel discussion, and a chance for you to ask questions during the Q&A. The Zurich Release remarks a pivotal moment in ServiceNow's evaluation, bringing together intelligence, innovation, and impact. With that being said, a quick overview of who you will hear today. We have our experts for Now Assist and agentic AI workflows, Mort Stigter with us, Karel Janssen for AI Control Tower. And you will also hear from our expert, Raju Kunapali, a strategic portfolio management expert, our expert for App Engine and Creator, Tim Simon, and our expert for customer industry workflows, Sebastian Tisch, and last but not least, our senior advisory solution consultant, ServiceNow speaker, Marijn Rovers. Welcome to all of you, and thank you for being here to share your knowledge with us. Without further ado, I would immediately jump to the next slide and specifically welcome Marijn Rovers. Thank you for being here, and please share with us, why does the Zurich release matter?
Yes, and thanks for the warm welcome, Franziska, and to the Platformation team, of course, for hosting this session. I'm Marijn Rovers from ServiceNow. I see a lot of familiar names in the attendee list. So hi everyone. I'm really excited to kick things off today. And my goal today, I'll spend a few minutes here to provide the big picture, to talk about the key advancements for the platform as a whole, and then the experts from Platformation will dive deep into specifics and show you what this looks like in practice. It feels like AI is everywhere, right? It's on the news, it's all over LinkedIn. It's a key topic in every boardroom. And the big question we all have is, how do we realize the practical benefits in our daily work? Well, that's exactly what we're here for, because with the ServiceNow Zurich release, that's happening right now. And as AI explodes, it's creating this whole new challenge, a mess of siloed point solutions and AI agents everywhere. And the question becomes, how do you orchestrate all of your work to drive complete end-to-end business outcomes? And this is where the Zurich release is focused. It establishes the ServiceNow platform as a central hub for workflow and AI agent orchestration, a system that doesn't just provide information, but coordinates action across the entire enterprise. And this vision is delivered through three key advancements I would like to highlight. And it starts at the top with the experience layer, the new AI experience, which elevates how we engage with technology. We're moving beyond simple chatbots to a rich conversational interface, including voice agents, etc., where users can have a dynamic dialogue and see the AI work on their behalf in real time, creating a much more intuitive and empowering experience for everyone. And then the second layer is the core of orchestration. It's our action layer now with new hybrid AI processes. And this is powered by Agentic Fabric, a framework allowing AI to execute multi-step tasks. And you'll see this come to life in the Zurich release with AI agents in playbooks, where the AI actively participates in structured workflows, with a human always in the loop, delivering new level of human AI collaboration. And finally, true orchestration needs to extend beyond the single platform. And the Workflow Data Fabric provides that crucial connectivity, allowing ServiceNow to seamlessly use data from your systems of record without complex data migrations. And this makes ServiceNow the command center for your enterprise-wide workflows. So when you combine those three layers, that elevated experience layer, an intelligent action layer, and a connected data layer, you get a really powerful united platform for any level of automation. And this is a significant step for the platform. But the best way to understand its impact is to see it live. And to do that, I'm really excited to introduce Maud Stichter. She's Platformation's AI capability expert, and she has been deep in the Zurich release, finding the most impactful use cases to share with you today. So, Maud, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Marijn. Indeed, I'm Maud Stichter, capability lead of all the AI and GenAI features. There are now many new cool AI and GenAI features available. And today I will focus on the AI agent fabric, the model provider flexibility, and the voice agent. There will be other now assist and GenAI related topics, of course, and they will discussed also in the other sections by my colleagues. The first topic I want to discuss today is the AI agent fabric. From the Zurich release onwards, it is now possible to connect third-party AI agents to the AI agents built in ServiceNow. It enables real-time communication between ServiceNow and external agent, and it expands the number of use cases you can think of in your business. There are two methods to add an external agent, the manual integration and the agent-to-agent protocol. It eliminates silos, it will boost the productivity, but it also proves the scalability of building agents in ServiceNow and connecting them with external agents. The second topic is about the model provider flexibility. First, only the large language model from ServiceNow was available to use for the GenAI use cases in ServiceNow, but after that, ServiceNow made it available to choose external large language models as long as you had an external subscription. But now you can choose for every use case the most suitable AI model provider for every workflow in the ServiceNow platform. The allowed model providers are what you see also on the slide, the large language model of ServiceNow, of course, the Azure OpenAI, the Google Gemini, and the model from AWS. This will lead in more simplified AI management and, of course, multilingual support will be still available. But if you don't want to use the large language model of ServiceNow, or you have any preference for one of the other three models, you can now choose yourself which model you want to use for the use case that you are working on. The third topic is about the voice agent. No need anymore to wait until someone picks up the phone or your call. You can now track your ticket status, for example, or create a new incident or create a PTO request, and many more with hands-free voice interaction. In addition, there are performance tracking possibilities with analytics, but also with transcripts and recordings to improve the voice agent. And you can also integrate the voice agents with leading platforms already. And there will be more platforms available in the near future. This will, of course, result in improving service desk efficiency, enhance customer experience with 24/7 support, but it will also ensure accessibility compliance. That was it from my side. Next speaker is Karel, and he will talk about the AI Control Tower.
Thank you so much, Maud, and great to be here. My name is Karel Jansen. I am responsible for our security and risk practice, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the AI Control Tower. And as Bill McDermott would say, we are all in on the AI Control Tower. And I think just as an intro, for the last 2 decades, perhaps 3 decades, the world of business and the world of business users has grown accustomed to what I would call form-based graphical user interfaces. So business applications. I am a customer and I want to raise a certain complaint at a company where I've bought something. I'm going to their website and I'm going to fill out a form. I am an HR manager and I need to record, let's say, a new employee for onboarding. So I go to my Workday application and I start the process. I'm a finance manager, right, or a sales manager, and I need to record a new deal registration. So I go to my Salesforce application and I fill out the form. So we've grown used as business users in the world of business to form-based graphical user interfaces that really allow us, let's say, to control the data entry into databases. And this has brought a lot of wealth over the last couple of decades. But with the evolution of agentic AI on top of the existing IT landscape, so the business application that we know today as a sort of the highest level of the IT landscape, with the evolution of agentic AI, we are introducing a new abstraction layer. So agents to interact with the technology landscape and to collaborate with each other. I want to request a holiday because I have a bachelor party next weekend. I talk to my agent and say, can you arrange my holiday for 3 weeks from now? I am a manager and I need to look at something. I need to get some reports and I talk to my agent. And of course, the ultimate vision there is to have sort of one agent, one platform to rule them all. And this evolution, this new abstraction layer and way and manner of interacting with technology and with each other is going to trigger an unimaginable boost of productivity and of user satisfaction, of course. But as with any, let's say, digital capability, if you cannot see it, you cannot manage it and you cannot control it. So ServiceNow's AI Control Tower, a digital platform to manage AI across the business. And it all starts with gaining visibility of the AI assets, the systems, the AI systems, the models, the communication protocols. So visibility across the AI landscape. Similarly to that, how we want to manage and control legacy IT, preventing shadow AI, monitoring performance. It all starts by getting a complete and accurate view of that digital estate. So the common service data model is extended with the relevant AI asset classes as a starting point and as a foundation to start managing, monitoring, and controlling AI across the business. AI visibility. Once we get visibility, we can start to track performance and the value that we are realizing from our investments into AI. So here we are using, of course, again, the common service data model and the extended, let's say, AI asset classes. And on top of that, use capabilities like strategic portfolio management, performance analytics, to monitor the performance and the value realization from AI capabilities across our organization. Agentic AI and AI, it is the business opportunity of the century. But as with any great opportunity comes risk, right? So in the end, let's say, getting value from your AI and doing the right things, it's inevitable. It's AI or die. But being able to do that in a controlled manner, balancing performance against controlling risk is sort of the ultimate, let's say, goal that companies and businesses should strive towards. And that's why ServiceNow, with its integrated risk management capabilities and the other capabilities, not only allows us to optimize, let's say, return on investment, but also control risk, comply with regulation, legislative frameworks like the EU AI Act, GDPR, etc., and have one platform, to rule them all, basically. So that's it. And then over to my dear colleague and the master of App Engine, Tim Simon.
Thank you very much, Karel. Yes, I would like to talk about the latest and greatest for App Engine and Creator on the platform. The 3 topics I would like to talk about is release ops, conversational coding with AI, also AI build agents, and workflow data fabric. But first of all, a little bit about release ops. And basically the concept of organizations allowing the business to develop simple low-code solution themselves is not new. There is, of course, already App Engine Management Center on the platform, and also the concept of pipelines, which really helps organizations to manage the governance around low-code initiatives on the platform. You can also call it citizen development or delegated development. But now with release ops, this in the Zurich release, this is brought to the next level, because with release ops, organizations who decide to take that path have much more flexibility and much more freedom to define how such a program can look like. So basically, you can track all the deployments on the platform with release ops, and also, for example, trigger automated test frameworks and instance checks with the right configuration here. That really helps to reduce the risks when you enable your business to develop on the platform, and it also provides a really centralized visibility, a centralized overview on all the releases going on the platform. So this solution is basically for low-code initiatives, but it can also be used for the more pro-code advanced development on the platform. And the actual business value coming from this update of release ops is improved operational efficiency, you can faster deploy, and you can get the right insights, and really also improve the reliability of your delegated or citizen development programs. And in the end, this is a tool to streamline the governance and to enforce the governance for low-code initiatives on the platform. The second topic I would like to talk about is conversational coding with AI, or also build agents. Basically, AI is on the whole platform, but not only for the end users and the fulfillers, but also for the developers who are developing on the platform. We had already in the past tools like text to code, text to app, text to code, a lot of AI functionalities to make the life of developers on the platform easier. But now with the build agents, there's even ServiceNow brought it to the next level. So basically, a developer can just chat with the AI on the instance, and the AI will start building a application, flows, catalog items, tables, everything you can imagine, basically in a back-to-back conversation with the AI. And that also not only results in much faster delivery and deployment and development, but also actually the AI coaches the developers with their development. So it doesn't only result in better applications, but also more skilled developers on the platform. So faster development, smarter developers, higher quality solutions, and greater innovation. The developers can focus on the creative part, while the AI does basically the implementation work and the coding part. Yeah. And last but not least, I would like to talk about Workflow Data Fabric. Workflow Data Fabric basically unifies enterprise data in ServiceNow. Think about other external sources like Snowflake, BigQuery, Redshift, Databricks, Oracle, and so on. With Workflow Data Fabric, you get basically a toolbox of different connectors to connect these external sources to your ServiceNow instance and access that data without actually copying it into ServiceNow. So there is 0 copy connectors available, for example, for ERP solutions that you can, for example, connect your ServiceNow instance with SAP, for example, and access that data without copying anything over to the ServiceNow instance. And in times of AI, where the AI agents running on the platform really need a lot of access to a lot of different tools and a lot of different data sources, Workflow Data Fabric really provides the right foundation to manage these 0 copy connectors and integrations, and to really give the AI agents on your platform the right data to act upon. Yeah, so that's Workflow Data Fabric. And now I would like to hand it over to my colleague Sebastian, who will tell you everything about customer industry workflows.
Thanks, Tim, and hi, everyone. This is Seb coming at you live from the actual wonderful city of Zurich to tell you, more about CSM and the new features in the Zurich release. So let's have a look. We'll look at accelerating compliance with data classification. We increase and improve operations through task templates. And then we'll also have a look at how we can reduce SLA disputes by a simple small change in the data model. So let's get started with CSM data classification. We all know it, right? We're in a project implementing CSM, and suddenly a wild requirement appears in the tall grass, right? And it includes data privacy, GDPR, right? All those nice topics that are very important in customer data, but they can also be very tricky when it comes to budget and timeline, right, for your project. Luckily, now with this new store app, CSM data classification, you get an easy way to classify all the customer data attributes from being confidential to being publicly available, or maybe to being personal identifiable information, right? You can classify them all, define the security and encryption governance that you want to apply to them, and speed up your implementation. And best of all, the application already comes with predefined classification of every out-of-the-box customer data attribute, so you can review it, adjust it if needed, but definitely speed up the implementation and become compliant for GDPR. All right, next up, we have task plan templates. We all know form templates, response templates, email templates. They all have a pretty straightforward goal to fill something out faster without needing code, right? It's the same for form templates, response, and so forth. Task templates or task plan templates are pretty similar. You define a set of tasks that have to be completed by a certain team, a certain person in a certain process, right? And you can apply them either automatically through a condition, like a case for a certain service or product, or ad hoc, right? Which is very important in CSM. As we know, a lot of cases come in, and during the intake, we are actually not 100% sure yet what kind of process we need to start. Well, no problem. We can evaluate a case that comes in and apply the task template. In the best case, no code. You can give it to the process owners. They can start creating their own task plans right away without the help of developers. So nice way to speed up your day-to-day business, especially in CSM, where there are so many, so fast changing processes that you have to work with. All right. Next up, last and kind of least, it's not quite as flashy as the other features that we did take a look at. It's the multiple entitlements per case, right? So in the past, you had the possibility on a case to link a single entitlement that you would use to track what if the customer is allowed to get the support that they requested and how much of it, right? 100 cases or 100 hours. As a result, because it was very one-dimensional, you sometimes ended up with very cumbersome entitlement configurations like the ones that you can see in the upper screenshot, right? Because you had to combine dimensions like the product and the channel and the timeline into single entitlements because you could only link one. Luckily now, with a small change to the data model, by allowing for many-to-many relationship between cases and entitlements, you can now link multiple entitlements to a case, right? And therefore make it easier to maintain and definitely easier to report, right? Because you don't need the cumbersome structure that you had above. It's a rather small change, but for me as a consultant, when the data model becomes more flexible to accommodate more different types of customers and processes, I'm always very happy, and this change is one of them. These were the 3 new features that I picked for our base customer service management Zurich release. That doesn't mean that is all there is. As we know, there are lots of industry-specific solutions now for customer industry workflows, all with their unique set of new cool features. So if you're interested in hearing about those too, just make sure to contact me and we can have a look. And with that, I'm giving over to Raju to talk about strategic portfolio management.
Thank you, Sebastian. What an energy. So I'll try to keep up that level as well. Hello, everyone. My name is Raju. I'm the Global Capability Expert for SPM within Platformation. And today I would like to walk you through key updates on the SPM side, at least focusing on the 3 topics what we have here. So like any other release, even the Zurich release primarily focuses on SPM's vision on connecting our strategy to the execution layer. So having said that, like we have the 3 capabilities, the AI strategy on the control tower, the financial aspects on the planning items, and the AI agent for the project email summary. These are the core capabilities which really highlight this evolution. So let's talk about them one by one. The first, and the most exciting one on the Zurich one is the AI strategy and the AI control tower. Like our colleague also mentioned, Carol mentioned, that on the AI control tower workspace, we particularly talk about a particular dashboard or the page, and it is the AI strategy, which is primarily a centralized platform for all the AI tagged initiatives or the goals or your priorities. So everything comes together into one single place, primarily targeting the personas of AI stewards or CIOs who needs to know what is happening in the organization with respect to your AI investments. So instead of maintaining any separate silos, AI efforts, now the leaders can track the progress, they can manage the risks, and even find out the outcomes of all their initiatives in one single place. It's not just about the visibility, it's about the governance and the accountability, right? In short, this AI strategy helps the organizations to manage all the investments, particularly for AI, more responsibly and very effectively, ensuring all their right investments are contributed to the value what they're measuring for. So that's one. And going to the next one, we have financials in the planning items. Yes, we talk about AI, yes, but we also need to talk about the investment, the financials, the budgeting, right? Yes. So Zurich brings a major improvement in how we handle the financials within SPM. And this is also a core topic a lot of times we talk about in SPM. So now this enables financial tracking directly on your planning items. This has not been the case prior. We had financials on demands, projects, or epics directly, but not on the enterprise agile planning or even features. So it's now visible or available everywhere so that you don't have to tag them directly to your core elements. You can directly do the planning and prioritization, and then you can visibly see what is the investment required and what captured all the cost elements and support your lean budgeting. Now it's a practical enhancement, I would say, that brings the financial insights into where actually the work is happening, not just on your program or portfolio layer, right? So this is cool. And the third one, last but not the least one, which is an agentic AI workflow or the project email summary. Yes, this has been there in the past with Yokohama as well. But now what is improved here is the power which generates with respect to the summarization of your project progress with respect to critical tasks or critical path or your status, financial aspects, everything right together, and you don't have to create them. So AI creates for you. The AI agent automatically captures all the context, critical path, like I said, the delivery aspects, and share it with all the right people at the right time. So this not only improves the communication or also the decision making, but also saves a lot of time for the project managers because communication is key. And so that the project managers can spend their very valuable time in all the delivery work. So having said that, thank you so much. And I'm happy to take any questions during the QA session. Over to you, Francisca.
Wow, thank you very much. All sounded very exciting. Thank you very much for the very clear overview. As next step, I would like to go to our panel discussion. I'll ask each of you a couple of questions, and let's start with you, Marijn. If you had to summarize, can you share the most significant improvements in this release?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a tough question because there are so many that are impactful, and I already highlighted a few during the introduction, right? But to add to that, I think AI Control Tower is one of those key improvements that we see really taking off, and it's crucial for strategy and governance, as we saw Raju and Carol explain. And with great opportunity comes new risk. Carol, thanks for that quote. I didn't know that one. But AI Control Tower gives organizations a single place to monitor and manage all of their AI-powered experiences, right? So I think that one is crucial. And another one is build agent, like Tim explained, right? Vibe coding for developers is huge. It's taking a huge leap in productivity. We see that outside of ServiceNow, it's now in ServiceNow as well. So I think that is really a really powerful feature. Having that generative AI assistant directly embedded in a coding environment really speeds up prototyping and development of new applications on the platform. So it's really a combination of better collaborative experience, better governance, and faster development, I would say.
Okay, perfect. While we are already on the topic of a bit of faster development, how does the Zurich release help organizations deliver the value a bit faster?
I think we also saw that in the presentations. I think again in many ways, but to stay with development, right? It compresses development cycles, like I mentioned. And another one is we now with the Zurich release allow you to automate more complex work, which also delivers value faster. So Tim showed tools like build agent, right? But also release ops as those cycle times are shortening faster releases become more and more important. So I think that helps to deliver value faster. And ServiceNow is already known as that platform that makes workflow. So I think with the new orchestration capabilities like Agentic Fabric, Workflow Data Fabric, AI agents in playbooks, things like that, allows us to automate processes that were previously either too complex or siloed or too manual. And I think instead of spending resources on those repetitive tasks, we can really build a single intelligent workflow to handle it right now.
Okay, sounds very interesting. When we start talking about values, goals are also not far off. Maybe I'll address some of our experts. Raju, do you mind starting from your perspective? How will this release help organizations achieve their business goals, specifically improve day-to-day operations?
Of course, it's an interesting one. There are two elements of it. We talk about the business goals and the execution of the day-to-day operations, right? So while we saw a few major topics like goal framework and the strategic priority, enabling the view in the AI strategy and the control tower, which actually gives you the complete visibility down from the execution layer to all the way to the strategic layer to the business and everyone. But again, it's important to understand how the actual work also does. So if I consider the other minor releases part here, we have something called connected work in collaborative work management that brings all the actual day-to-day operation works together, right from projects, demands, or incidents or changes or everything into one single board. And we also have something on the agile planning within CWM, so which is kind of, on your day-to-day activities or day-to-day operations. All these execution layer roll-ups gives you the strategic priority and goals information, right, all the way up to your, let's say portfolios or portfolio leaders or business. So they understand clearly where the work is going on and how much value it's generating. So yeah, that's how I would see it.
Yeah, I think another nice example for the day-to-day part. Specifically, when we look at, for example, the task template example I gave earlier, let me paint a picture for you. You come in a contact center, call center, whatever, first level customer support. I can't tell you how many times you see it. You have two screens, right? One screen is your actual operational tool, hopefully ServiceNow. And the other one, more often than not, right, is a 200, 300, 400 page PDF handbook manual for all the different processes, use cases. What step do I have to do when somebody calls with problem X, right? And usually the only reason why they still have to use a big PDF and search through it is because more often than not, there are so many processes in there. They change often. They have low priority on the backlog for the developers. So until they're really getting done, it might never happen, right? But now, with having the no-code possibility to just go ahead and create your own template, go through that, and shift the responsibility a bit, right, to be able to optimize, improve, automate your own workflows is always a great improvement for day-to-day.
Yeah, in addition to that, also especially talking about the business goals, right? With all the new and enhanced Now Assist features, there's a big opportunity to boost productivity and also start with the innovation across the enterprise. First important activity where we always start with during the workshops that we give is to set a goal. What do you want to achieve with GenAI in the coming year, for example? Based on that, we can help you to draw a roadmap together. We always start with the small use cases and scale later, building more specific business automation and AI use cases, which result in really high added value. So start small, think big, but also have some clear goals in mind what you want to achieve with GenAI.
Perfect. I think that are very good insights already of how to improve the day-to-day operations. Considering that when we talk about best practices, what is the right approach to take those topics on? Are there any new best practices for admins, developer, the technical team?
Yeah, of course. With the Zurich release, as I mentioned earlier, we get release ops, we get the build agents. So a lot of new features to really help the admins, the developers, and technical teams to develop on the platform. I can only say so much that it's really changing with a very high pace how solutions are being developed on the platform, right? AI is now so much integrated in the development process on the platform that, let's say, it's really important that teams adapt to this new way of working. And in terms of best practices, these are being redefined now in the times of AI, because we want, of course, the support of the artificial intelligence to develop for us, but we still want to stay in the lead and still want to be in the lead when it comes to developing these solutions. So it's really important to enable your teams with, let's say, tools like release ops and the build agents to enable them to get these latest technologies available, try them out, test them, and start working with them, and of course we can also support with the adoption of these tools if needed.
Very good points. You brought up adoption. Marijn, do you want to continue in regards to best practices? Do you have any recommendations for us in how to prioritize those?
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to continue what Tim was saying. I think in general, we're seeing a shift happening where development is much more supported by AI, and the work of developers and admin shifts more towards the business side and understanding the use cases and taking that and translating that into capabilities on the Now platform. So I think there's a shift as well that we're seeing that drives new best practices. But I think as for prioritization and prioritizing adoption, I think it's always best to start with the pain. That sounds negative, but identify the most frustrating and time-consuming processes, or where you really have a challenge within your organization, and start to target those first. Because when you can show a team that you can solve their biggest headaches or solve their biggest challenges with, whether it's new agentic workflows, new apps, new automation, new integration capabilities, you don't have to push for adoption. They will pull it from you.
Very, very good. That almost sounds too good to be true. If we're talking about the theory, what are the best practices? Maybe let's jump to the topic of practice. How easy are those upgrades? What are the common challenges around upgrades? Tim, do you have some insights for us?
Yes, of course. So it always depends on, let's say, how much customized an instance is, how challenging upgrades are, right? So we always recommend to stay with the workflows, the standard workflows, really close to the standard out of the box, not to customize too much. As more customizations are in there, the more challenging a upgrade can be. And here it is important to also keep, let's say, the long-term strategy in mind, and to see, okay, how can we manage to stay really close to the standard and build the additional additional solutions which are needed in a proper way. For example, with App Engine, building a custom solution which extends one of these workflows, because then the upgradability is not a problem if done with best practices and in the best way. So there might be challenges with like every update, but if there's the right strategy in place and we stay close to the out of the box, then these challenges are usually rather minor.
Yeah, I totally agree with what Tim is saying, and I think with planning for Zurich, but any upgrade, is to think of two parallel paths. I think the technical path and the value path. The technical path is what Tim just explained, right? That's we're all familiar with it. Read release notes, clone instances, run your tests, etc. Like this is if you have a well-maintained ServiceNow platform, is the most straightforward path, right? And delivers the upgrade. But the value path is a crucial element as well. But it's often forgotten. And if you target your business owners, department heads, key stakeholders, and really ask, like, what are the new innovations and capabilities, and work with them on identifying what they would like to enhance with that new upgrade, you can hit the ground running. Then the upgrade isn't just a technical task or technical activity that you have to do because of support and security updates, but it becomes a strategic project where you really have business outcomes from day one for your business user. So I think that will help teams plan and prioritize as well to keep focus on those two things during the upgrade.
Marijn, can you share a bit of a sneak peek with us for the future releases? What comes after Zurich?
I knew this question was coming. Unfortunately, I cannot share any specific roadmaps as a publicly listed company. We don't do that, but like I mentioned at the start of the meeting, I think the trend is clear that Zurich is accelerating that enterprise-wide orchestration and governance, right? We see that in the AI control tower, we see it in AI experience, we see it with the new AI orchestration capabilities that drives the human and AI collaboration. And I think our CEO, Bill McDermott, explained it a while back, and he said it's like an iPhone or your phone. Like, you're not bothered with all the complexity of all of the infrastructure and applications and services that are running behind your apps. You just get that single interface, that single app experience where you can just work with any app on your phone. And I think that's really what ServiceNow is aiming to become, to take that enterprise complexity away. So I think the trend is less about single features and more about ServiceNow becoming that simple, powerful interface for enterprise. Sorry, I couldn't provide you with any key roadmap developments. Yeah,
was worth a try, but thank you so much for the insights. We're excited to see what comes in 2026. But to stay obviously in the presence and in the Zurich release, let's tackle some Q&As. Maybe let's start with the first question towards our Workflow Data Fabrics expert. Does the Workflow Data Fabrics only work with inbound integration with these external systems, or are outbound integrations also supported?
Yes, good question. So outbound integration are also part of it and can also be set up, right? Workflow Data Fabric comes with a range of different tools, for example, the Zero Copy connectors, but also Integration Hub. So there's a lot of different ways to integrate with external sources. Basically, when we help our customers to set up the integrations, we always look at the different use cases and define together, should it be a one-directional, bi-directional integration? What is the actual use case? How is the data being used, right? And then to pick the right technology available on the platform to integrate. Yeah, so that it's possible, and it always depends on the use case, which technology best to pick, basically.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Another question that came in: could you sketch in a way about what maturity level is required to benefit from the AI agent capabilities in this Zurich release? Does one need to have already a certain experience, applications running AI on Xanadu or Yokohama platform?
Yes, that's also a good question. For building agents, no, there's no previous running AI agents needed, which are on Xanadu and Yokohama. The quality and the results of the AI agents are compared to the previous releases better in the Zurich release. That's something we can say. And related to foundation data, the quality of your knowledge base, for example, that is more important for certain use cases. If you want to create a summary of a ticket, then the quality of your foundational data is not that important because it makes a summary of the current ticket. But if you want to create a step-by-step plan how to solve a ticket, then it's making use of historical tickets and your knowledge base. So then the quality of the knowledge base is a prerequisite to make sure that the AI agent can do the work.
Thank you so much, Maud, for that insight. Then maybe in regards to the AI control tower, Karel, could you give us some insights in how can we make sure it's secure and scalable when setting it up?
Well, I think in that sense, security and scalability is sort of embedded in the platform, right? The AI control tower really provides you with a digital platform to manage the end-to-end life cycle of AI assets across the business, these being AI assets and asset classes as systems and communication protocols that are not on the ServiceNow platform itself per se, right? So, but ServiceNow as a platform, the AI control tower sits within ServiceNow, and ServiceNow, of course, already complies to, let's say, the highest security standards, certifications, etc. So in that sense, it's embedded in the technology. I think what is, in terms of how do we leverage AI control tower, so how do we start to sort of consolidate, how do we start to build that visibility, how do we start to build that landscape of AI assets that is accommodated with the extension of the common service data model. Yeah, that's of course a sort of a gradual process where we follow similar best practices to how we, for instance, do configuration management database engagements, CSDM engagements. And I think what's important here to realize is that, as your organization is never finished, is always changing. Therefore, sort of this model, your asset repositories, it also is ever changing. But I think the point is to start small, to start with a certain domain within your landscape, start with certain asset classes and start to fill that in ServiceNow and see what works, see how it can be improved, and how we can start to build on top of that and then gradually expand.
Very, very good insight. Thank you very much. Another question that came in is, how do the new App Engine and workflow updates help us build faster and connect better with other systems?
So basically, here also when we build solutions with App Engine and we want to integrate them with other tools, we would still be able to use platform capabilities like in the Workflow Data Fabric Integration Hub, for example, or the Zero Copy connectors as part of the solutions we build in App Engine. It's always also a possibility to still build a fully custom integration, REST API integration, for example. But the approach we follow there, when we build solutions, we always take the low-code, no-code first approach and make sure that we, if available, use the right connectors which are provided by the platform. And there, Zurich provides a lot of new functionalities, of course, with Workflow Data Fabric.
What I've seen work really well, right? We have our out-of-the-box spokes. We have a ton of connectivity available from the ServiceNow store, whether we develop it or the suppliers of the spokes or third parties. But that's great, and I think what we see now as well is AI being used in spoke generation. One of those examples where previously we had support for OpenAPI and Swagger documentation, right? So you could build a spoke and you could build an integration. But now with spoke generation, you can also take the API documentation from a website, just copy paste the API documentation, paste it in the spoke generator, and you get a working API outline at least, and working API pretty quickly, and you can refine that and then continue to work from that. And I think that's also a great capability that we'll see more and more come into the platform, just to make it easier to connect with other systems, whether that's APIs for public platforms or internal platforms that you're using.
Another question that just came in, I suggest we start with that one, how ServiceNow is protecting itself so other AIs don't overtake it. ChatGPT wants to integrate with ServiceNow data to build their intelligence, then it kills the capabilities of ServiceNow AI.
I was already unmuted. But yeah, there is a lot that ServiceNow is taking into account related to all the protecting and other rules. There's a lot of that already available in ServiceNow. And like you said, like if ChatGPT wants to integrate with ServiceNow data, so it's really important that you set up the right governance within your company as well if you want to include or connect it with an external large language model, of course. But if you are using the large language model of ServiceNow in ServiceNow, then all the protection is regulated in ServiceNow. In addition, you can opt in or opt out. So if you opt in, ServiceNow will use your data to improve the large language model. Of course, you can opt out, and then your data will not be shared to improve the large language model.
I think, Amout, you also explained it during your presentation, like the model selection capabilities. I think in Zurich we make it even easier for ServiceNow skills and custom skills that you can just much quicker select what model you would like to use. And ChatGPT or OpenAI or Azure OpenAI or custom models to be selected is pretty easy also for the ServiceNow skill. So I think we have that collaboration also with OpenAI. But we allow you to choose your model as well to your liking. Yeah.
Very, very good. A lot of insights, things we learned today about the Zurich upgrade. I hope you enjoyed the insights that you have seen and received today. Thank you very much for all our experts of sharing their expertise with us and the knowledge so that we all can get a better insight and you all feel inspired going out and experimenting with the with the next steps. And if you have any follow-up questions, you've heard it already from most of our experts, feel free to reach out. You now know the names, or you already are working with ServiceNow Platformation on various projects. So just reach out, ask the questions, and we'll get back to you. Thank you again for joining. Thank you again for sharing the input. Thank you for your participation and the questions.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.